Good morning, everyone. Before I introduce myself, allow me to begin here. We do not live in numbers, but numbers live in us. In the rise before a meal, in the drop we didn't feel, in the silent alarms our bodies learn to carry, this is what it means to live with diabetes. Thank you, Kathy, for that beautiful introduction. My name is Siyabonga Zuma. I'm a poet and a diabetes advocate from Howick in KwaZulu-Natal, and I've been living with type 1 diabetes for 18 years now. I am part of the Find ACCEDE Lived Experience Advisory Group, and I've also recently taken on a role as a board member of the SA Diabetes Advocacy. But beyond all of that, I am someone who lives this reality every single day. And that matters because over the next 2 days, we won't just be engaging with data, research, and policy. We'll be engaging with lived experience, such as myself. Because diabetes doesn't exist in isolation. It exists in moments like these, in decisions, in adjustments, in the constant awareness of something most people never have to think about. As we are sitting here right now, there's someone worrying about their sugar levels, checking their phones. That's the reality that we live. So it's 24 hours a day, no breaks. And that's why conversations around continuous glucose monitoring matter so deeply. Because CGM is more than just a device. It's visibility. It's the ability to see what your body is doing in real time, to understand patterns, to respond instead of reacting, to move from uncertainty to informed decision making. I remember the first time I truly understand the power of CGM. I visited Sister Kate. I'm sure she's in the room. There she is over there. She's a fellow diabetes advocate and a diabetes educative nurse. That single visit alone shifted something in me. Seeing the trend arrows, seeing how glucose levels respond to everyday life, the meals, movements, stress in real time, it changed how I understood diabetes management. It wasn't just about numbers anymore, it was about patterns, it was about context, it was about empowerment. And after that, I went on to do a CGM course, which deepened my understanding even further. Because when you understand the tool, you unlock its actual power. But this brings us to a critical point. Access to CGM in South African public sector is still limited. And for many people, it's simply out of reach, especially back home. So we have to ask ourselves, what does progress actually look like if it's not equitable? Who benefits and who gets left behind? And even more importantly, what does access really mean? Because access without education is not access at all. You can provide the technology, but without the knowledge to use it, without the support to interpret it, without the healthcare system that walks alongside the person using it, then we risk creating confusion instead of empowerment. So the conversation we need to have over these 2 days is not just about whether CGMs should be available. It's about how they are introduced to the public. How we ensure that education, support, and collaboration are built into that access. Because meaningful impact happens at the intersection of all those three: education, support, and collaboration. And collaboration is the key between healthcare professionals, people living with diabetes, and the private and public funders that play a crucial role in creating the change that we would love to see as people living with diabetes. Not just as separate voices, but as partners. Because lived experience brings in insight that data alone cannot. Clinical expertise brings structure that lived experience alone cannot. and funders bring in the resources that can make all of this possible. We need all of these collaborations. Over the next 2 days, we'll hear the outcomes, challenges, and possibilities. Some of what we may hear may affirm what we already believe. Some of it may challenge us, and that's necessary, because progress doesn't come from comfortable conversations. It comes from honest ones. So as we begin, my hope is this, that we remain grounded, that we listen with intention, and that we remember this work is not just about systems or studies. It's about people, especially people living with diabetes. It's about the person sitting in a clinic, trying to make sense of their condition with limited resources. It's about giving them not just tools, but understanding, support, and dignity. Because in the end, this is not just about improving diabetes care. It's about improving people's lives. And lastly, together we can do plenty and not feel empty. Thank you.